Good morning, everyone. Just about to do a Zoom call for one of my businesses, and I'm all set up in the saloon area of our gorgeous wide beam, and my husband's outside sorting out the men who are putting a shed up for us today, so I will give you a shot of that a bit later, which will be fantastic for storage because we're obviously very tight for storage here. And I will hop on later and we'll do a little introduction with the two of us so that you know our names and what we do, and get to know a little bit more about us. Zoom partners. Rafi is ready for the off. And Mimo's all sorted out on the sofa. And hubby is out here. I'll take you. Showing the guys what to do. It's a very rainy and cold day. And here's our shed going up. All very exciting. So what have we got for lunch, Mr. Schneider?
Bacon, lettuce, tomatoes.
How marvellous.
We're in our special non-fatty fat thing.
That goes in the microwave. Oh, that looks yummy. Looking forward to that. And it's quite blowy out here, as you can see. And we did have the guys doing the shed. However, their car's broken down, so they're not here anymore. As you can see, the shed's still in bits. On a sidewalk. This is how we're doing. Guys back, van's fixed. Coming up a treat. So as promised, this is a little update on our boat and what we've done with it. So I think since I last saw you, we've added some mats. Great for dirty feet and dirty dogs. And this is I think you've seen this all before though. Don't think the kitchen's changed much, but I'll just show you so you know. Room pretty much the same. I think you've seen it. However, just to remind you, we've got one of these things actually, which is a floor pusher for wet rooms, so that once you have your bath or shower, you can push the water straight down to the drain, which is there. There is the bedroom, and I don't think that's changed much either. But there you go, that is our boat. And we are very warm and cosy and comfy inside. We love it. Just about to start a fire because we're just about to tell you all about us and our boat. Jamie, what are you doing first of all?
I'm cleaning the fire.
To make sure the window's clean. We've got our bucket for ashes. We've got our little fire set. We've got our kindling and our matches. We've got our more kindling, and we've got some logs and coal underneath all that. All of which is going to have to be rearranged when we get our bigger sofa, which has been ordered, and it's going to be about 12 weeks.
Breathe.
We missed that first part. We're taking out some of the coals so the kindling can breathe.
Yeah.
Very technical, this. That's getting the ash down to the bottom of it. Now we're loading the fire with kindling. This bits. Like some newspaper. It catches on the paper first. There is the stones. Hi everybody.
Hi.
Cheers.
Cheers.
We thought we'd do an introduction to who we are and what we do, so that you all knew roughly what our background is, and we thought we'd introduce our family of dogs and give a history of why we decided to move onto a wide beam boat. So my name is Sally, and
My name is Jamie.
Yes, and I basically was and still am a beauty therapist, qualified beauty therapist. I've done it for many years and had my own business. However, with lockdown, it changed everything rather, and that was one of the reasons, wasn't it, in the second lockdown, that we decided to actually get our own boat, or wide beam boat, and live aboard.
And the aim is to, at the moment we're in a marina in Devizes, but the aim long term is to do something called continual cruising, where we will cruise up and down the canal, which we call Cut, and we will be self-sufficient.
Yeah. Basically, the reasoning that we love canals and wide beam boats and in fact narrow boats as well is because when I was quite young, I went on a few canal boat holidays with my mother and father, and there were four of us kids, and we were all over the place for a good 2 or 3 years. We did narrowboat holidays and had such fun, and it was so beautiful and peaceful and quiet with such lovely countryside all around that I decided to introduce Jamie to it. And we did a couple of holidays, didn't we, right at the beginning, about 2 years ago. We went for a long weekend on the Oxford Canal on a narrowboat. He was absolutely hooked, and we decided that we would get our own narrowboat, which is what we did. And we got her for a couple of years, didn't we?
We did. Lovely boats, really top-notch boat. We did a few things to it, but basically she was a 2008 65 foot, I think, Sal, when she
No, she was 57 foot.
Oh, it's 57. Oh,
57 foot.
57 by 6 foot 6 wide.
Yeah.
Traditional.
Yeah.
And had just been repainted when we bought her. She's absolutely beautiful, but not big enough to live on.
Not big enough to live on.
No.
So that was a consideration. We'd sort of spoken about it and thought, well, narrowboats are great for us for holidays, but to live on one, we felt that we needed some more space. Hence, literally in the last lockdown, I spoke to Jamie about moving on to a boat and how did he feel about it, and we had a full start a couple of years ago, didn't we, when we were going to do it?
We did. Before we got into Bourton narrowboat, we saw another marina called Cane Hill Marina that side of the Devizes. We saw a very nice wide beam boat, and I fell in love with it, and we decided to sell the house, which we've had sold the house, but then it wasn't right for you with the business.
Wasn't the right time, was it, for the business? But with the second, well, in fact it was during the second lockdown, wasn't it, that I said to you, do you know what, now is the right time, if we're going to do it, let's do it.
Yeah, I mean the other reason as well is that something that we haven't mentioned yet, 3 wonderful dogs. They're rescue dogs, and we love to walk them, and the canal boat is ideal for them because they just have freedom. The few days you can move, and they get in the back garden to play in, and we see some wonderful new countryside. So
Exactly.
it's a beautiful way of life. So why don't you introduce our 3 dogs to our
I
viewers?
will. So this little girl is Elsa. We've had her for about 6 months. She's originally from Cyprus and is absolutely wonderful. She's a sweetie in every sense of the word, and we wouldn't be without her.
No, and she's in a little coat, as they all like, as they've been for a lovely walk for about an hour up around the fields, but they were very muddy, so they had a very slight wash.
And this is our older girl, Mia, who we originally got from Swindon. A family rehomed her because they had young children, and I don't think could give her the life that she needed. And this chap is Rafi, who is a sweetie, absolute sweetie. I don't know if you can see him, I don't know if the lighting's that good. But he is an absolute shadow of me, particularly, isn't he, Jamie?
Oh yes, he loves his mummy.
Yeah,
He's a gentle giant.
he is. We've had him for 6 years.
Yeah, he's
So now Jamie's going to tell you a little bit about him and what he does and what he does to work.
So I'm in my 50s. I work for a European kitchen manufacturer, and I run the sales team. So generally I'm out and about the country visiting customers and so on. But during the lockdowns I haven't been able to get out. So the canal boat is perfect for someone like me because it means that as long as I can get access to the internet, and obviously I have a company car, so I can, we can continue a cruise anyway as long as I can park my car and I can get to the boat. Then my office is my home is my office. So
That's our ultimate goal, isn't it? To continuously cruise. We've got to get this boat 100% before we start doing that. We need to get her painted. We need to get her blacked. All of those things that.
And for those who don't know, blacked means it's the hull. The hull gets pressure washed every 2-3 years and rubbed with wire brush. It's quite a laborious job, and then you put this bitumen type product on, which is very gloopy, and you put 2 or 3 coats of that on, and that basically protects the hull from the canal, and you have scrapes and so on. It's a contact sport, and we have a few war wounds to talk about, and so yeah, that's the idea when Sally means black.
What we've done to the boat since we've moved on, quite a lot. One of the things we've done is get a new gulper, which is basically the method by which the water in our wet room is sucked out of the boat and chucked into the grey waste outside.
Yeah, so technically we are in this hull and with a roof, so we've got thick steel at the base, 10 mil of steel, 6 mil of steel on the sides, and 4 mil or something like that on the top. And basically where we are now, we've got the base of the boat and we have a floor, and so we technically are within the waterline. So with our wet room obviously being on the floor, and it all drains to one point, it's below the waterline. So we have something called a whale gulper that sucks the water from the waste, sucks it one end through the gulper and spits it out. And it's positioned obviously above the waterline when it spits it out. So it's higher than what, as it sucks, it's higher. So basically, it at the moment we're on the riverbank on the left-hand side, or on the end of the marina. So basically, we've improved that. We've got the biggest gulper you can get, so it is literally sucking and blowing to drop into the canal. We use obviously UK-friendly product, but the jet is quite strong, and it would certainly take out children in small tops. So it's quite hilarious, isn't it, Sam?
Yeah, yes. I mean, it's much better than it was, isn't it? When we first moved on, it was only a small one. So
yeah. So we bought this boat about a month ago, and it came from Evesham in Worcester, and we've had it craned out of the water. So inside the boat is absolutely beautiful, and we've made some significant changes because it's now our home. So we want it to be right. So we, as Sally mentioned, we've done the gulper, the whale gulper. We have.
We've got a water gauge.
Yeah, we put because we've got a small tank. We've got a 375 litre water tank, freshwater tank.
Nothing.
No, and it sounds. You think, wow, 300. That's a lot. It's not. In boat terms, the average small boat will have around about 500 litres. So, an average boat of this size, 60 foot by 12, should have at least 1,000 litres. So we're well down. So we're going through water probably half a tank a day.
Yeah.
That's with a shower each, and then with a washing machine,
shower.
And washing machine, and then water for drinking, and water for washing up, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So we do get through water quite a lot. So our intention is in the future, when we continue cruise, we'll need more water than we can't stop every day. We're in the marina now, so we're lucky we have a water tap outside, so we can fill up. So we're going to get some food grade water butts, and we're going to put those on the front of the boat, which is called the bow. And we're going to they'll be about 500 litres each, so we'll have around about 1,400 litres, which should last nearly a week now. But we've got a water gauge, digital, and that tells us where we are.
Yeah, exactly. And since then, very, very briefly, we've ordered a compost loo because we've had a pump out loo. We've tried an Elsan loo, which is what we're using at the moment because we're still waiting to pump out because there's a boat in the way, so we can't.
Yeah, so our poo tank technically is full. And,
yes, we've got to pump it out.
And also something we didn't realise, we had when we bought the boat, the loo wasn't working properly, so we've had that serviced. They need to be serviced with non-return valves to stop things from coming back in and so on. And so when you go to toilet with a pump out, you basically do your business, press the button, it will then suck it away into a holding tank and flush it with fresh water. But of course, again, being that we're on a boat and we need to store our water, we need to store our food, and our grey waste goes out the side, so it's not a problem. So we're probably using about, I'd say, Sally, about 2 litres of water a flush. So you see that, it goes from the fresh water to the black waste, as we call it. It's not efficient. It's not a long-term practical solution.
No. So we've ordered a compost loo.
Yeah. So I'm sure some of you are thinking compost loos. That sounds disgusting. As I did, we were both very concerned about it, but it's not. And Sally knows more about it than me.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, basically, you've got a space to do your wee-wees and space to do the other. So that's just a little bit about us. We'd love you to share our adventures, both while we're in the marina and when we're out on the cut, and we'll be doing a bit of both. If you do like what you see, please like it and subscribe to us.
The bell icon.
Well, we haven't got one of those yet.
We haven't got a bell icon.
We haven't got one yet. And the videos, obviously we're learning, everything is new, and we will update you as and when we do something or there's something interesting to show you, we'll do that. Yeah. But basically we're a very happy couple on the cut, and we hope that you'll join us.
And please leave your comments in the feedback. Positive comments, positive criticism is absolutely welcome. And we're learning and we're new, so bear with us, and we hope you find it interesting and enjoyable, and we hope you like it. Thank you.